So, Jim, one of the things you and I teach is the value of not just knowing what to do, but knowing what not to do. And so, guys, in this episode, Jim and I are going to talk about, I love studying CEOs and what they don't do and what success looks like in business models. Jim and I are going to jump into a business model of a legacy car maker and kind of focus on what is a good business model, what is a bad business model, just in general, and dive deep. So pay attention. I'm sure Jim's going to have lots of thoughts as we dive in.
How you can be the greatest salesperson on the planet.
So guys, welcome to the Rethink Sales Show. My name is Derek Kelly. I'm joined by Jim Shorkey. And Jim, I was reading an article last night by talking about the current CEO of Mercedes. And I'm sure the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group doesn't sell Mercedes, not necessarily about Mercedes per se, but it is about just what a good business model looks like. And so Mercedes had a CEO from the 70s all the way to almost 2020 that really was, pumped the blood into what makes a Mercedes car, right? And he was just getting older, had to retire, similar to your position. Somebody else took over, probably not family, a new CEO. And since then, they've really had to push. The CEO felt like they had to push into the EV market. And we don't need to get into all those details. But at the same time, they felt like they had to modernize the Mercedes, right? So they modernized it and brought the EV piece on. And in some ways, many of the reports last night I was reading were just saying it's hurt the brand overall.
Yeah.
Because what it's done is, okay, good push, bad push, whatever, but they modernized at the same time. So they took the classic, Mercedes look that people love, and they just modernized it way too much. They weren't hearing the heart of the customer. And so I wanted to open up a conversation with you to talk about how, as a leader, how do we pay attention to what not to do, and also recognize how do we not lose the heart of the customer? So how did you continue to serve people? We were just talking in the last episode, you were calling every single customer.
It was.
But how did you, I'm sure, like that CEO, you had people encouraging, oh, Jim, you should do this, or, oh, Jim, this trend over here. How did you stay focused, and how did you not lose the heart of the customer at the end of the day?
First off, I knew I was right. And so when I know that I'm right, then it's going to be very hard for you to influence me because I know I'm right. Mm-hmm. And I've done my research. I've put it into practice day by day, week by week, month by month. I know I'm right. You may have a better idea, but I know that my idea is working, and I'm not necessarily willing to take that chance. Mm-hmm. But I want to share with you how we did what we did.
Okay.
We have a corporate philosophy at the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group. And it is, in fact, a philosophy. Mm-hmm. I had a guy the other day recommend that I read this book. It's called Selling Through Intimidation. And I heard that title, and I listened to the fellow that told me this, and I thought, I'm not even remotely interested in it. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't want to sell that way. And so there's a reason why I'm bringing this up, because that is the way a lot of salespeople approach, whether it be cars or real estate, whatever, is intimidating the client. But let's talk about, you asked me about the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group. So the number one goal, remember how important goals are, right? Mm-hmm. Number one goal of the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group is to love the customer. And I do mean love the customer. Hug them, kiss them, love on them. And I am talking figuratively here. Figuratively. I want my people, I want my team to understand that if we don't love our customers, then there won't be any customers.
Right.
Because they'll feel the hate.
Yeah.
They'll feel the intimidation. Just not interested in crap like that.
Yeah.
I want my team to love the customer. In order for them to love the customer, I have to love the customer. I am the leader. I was. Love the customer. Number one goal of the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group, love the customer. Think about that. The second number one goal, sounds illogical, but this is how I designed it. Mm-hmm. The second number one goal of the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group is to love the team. And I do mean love the team. Hug them, kiss them, love on them. And again, I'm talking figuratively speaking. But we've got to show our team the love. Because if our team doesn't love the customers, there's not going to be any customers.
Yep.
If we don't love our team, they're going to be unhappy. They're going to leave. They're not going to be real good at loving the customer because they feel disrespected.
Yeah.
So those two are equally important. Love the customer, love the team. Now, if you do those two things really well, really from the heart, you're going to be very successful. You're going to sell a lot of cars, make a lot of money, do a lot of great things. The number one enemy of any successful enterprise, be it a business, be it a church, be it a marriage, be it a team of a football team, basketball team, the number one enemy of any successful enterprise is arrogance. Arrogance turns people off, scares them away. It's a turnoff. A lot of people will talk about the law of attraction. This is the law of attraction in opposite. So when we're arrogant, we push people away. We repel them. So the third goal, almost number one, is to keep it very humble. Because without our customers and without our team, we got nothing. So we got to humble up and make sure that we have this love in place. And I was listening to a conversation the other day, and they were talking about acquiring another dealership. And the first thing that this person recommended was to fire everybody. And I'm like, how does that make sense? Why don't you fire all the customers too while you're at it?
Right.
They're customers, that's our customer base. These people are people too. Yeah. They are human beings. They have families and they have bills, and we're just going to arbitrarily fire everybody? I said, that doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah.
Not interested. And I have acquired dealerships. Yeah. My children continue to acquire dealerships. And that's just not our mentality.
Yeah.
You have to prove to us that you don't belong. So here's the processes that we expect you to follow. We're going to teach you, train you, teach you, train you, teach you, train you. And at some point, of course, yeah, if you're not going to do what we want you to do, then yeah, you got to go.
Right.
But to arbitrarily fire human beings, I hate that. So when this book was recommended to me, Selling by Intimidation, I'm not going to buy it. I don't even want to read it from the perspective. I just don't want that getting into my head. Yeah. That's not how I sell. Yeah. And my comeback to that person was, why don't you try selling with love?
That's a great one. Yeah.
Yeah. Why do we have to sell with intimidation? Let's sell with love. Mm-hmm. So when we ignore our customers, what does that sound like? It sounds like arrogance. And so is it possible that's what Mercedes-Benz did? That they didn't take their customers into consideration? Is it possible that what the CEO of Mercedes-Benz did was not take his team into consideration?
It's possible.
Hey guys, what do you think about this? Is it possible the CEO of Mercedes-Benz didn't do any constructive seeking of expert counsel?
Yeah.
To say, is this really the answer? Mm-hmm. Is it really the answer? So I'm not going to get political here. I'm not going to talk about the manufacturers. I'm not. The manufacturers, by the way, were my partners. And I love my manufacturers. Yes. And they didn't always do what I wanted them to do. And guess what? I didn't always do what they wanted me to do either. Yeah. So it's a mutual relationship that sometimes, mostly was good. Sometimes there were some negative things, and we did what we did. Yeah. But I loved, I was a Suzuki dealer, a Mitsubishi dealer, a Chrysler Group dealer, a Ford dealer, a Kia dealer, and you could talk to anybody in those organizations and say, how about Jim Shorkey? They'll tell you, a good guy, very respectful. Yeah. I loved my partnerships with these companies. Suzuki was so good to me. Kia, so good to me. Chrysler Group, so good to me. I was an Oldsmobile dealer as well. They were good to me. Yeah. We were Oldsmobile for 40 years or whatever it was. Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder if Mercedes-Benz is looking at what the customers want. Yeah, and the idea behind selling, you've heard me say it's a transfer of enthusiasm. Yeah. Let me tell you how to sell now. We have the enthusiasm. Mm-hmm. How do we sell? Your job as a salesman, as an entrepreneur, is to figure out what the client wants. Figure out what the client needs. Yeah. And then figure out a way to provide that. And then charge them for it. That's your job. So you're an entrepreneur, and you figured out a way to go around filling up holes for people. Mm-hmm. You have this procedure and this method, and you bring the trucks in and the tools, and So you go around the neighbors, hey, you got a hole in your backyard. I can fill it up for you, and here's what I'll charge.
Yep.
Sounds like a good deal to me. Please get it done. And you do it really well. And you start to get a reputation. You're this guy that goes around filling up holes. And pretty soon you get a nice little business going. And that business could be taking out garbage for people. That business could be cleaning out garages, cutting grass, whatever the case may be. An entrepreneur is a person who finds a need and figures out a way to satisfy that need and then charges the client for the need.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if that fundamental business ethic is in play. I'd have to know more.
Sure,
but
sure.
I would be very concerned that maybe we're ignoring
The needs.
you know what they say? You dance with the girl that brought you to the party. You don't dance with the other girls. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, absolutely.
You brought this girl to the party. You brought this girl to the prom. You dance with her. There's this other girl over that wants to dance with you. Sorry.
Yep.
I'm spoken for.
Yep.
I got to go to a party with my wife today and dance with the next door neighbor's wife. I'm not going to do it.
Yep.
Not happening. And I'm not going to sit and talk to her. We'll talk a little bit. And
Yeah.
I'm going to pay attention to my wife. I love my wife. I love Amy. She's my baby.
Yep.
So if we're disrespecting our clients,
Yes.
good luck with that. Let me know how that turns out.
Probably
if we're
poorly.
disrespecting our team, good luck with that. Let me know how that turns out. It's not going to be real pretty. So when your bankruptcy imminent and things are going really bad, you figure out what to do
Yep.
based on expert counsel.
Yep.
And that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I will never, ever forget that. I'm the guy, I'll be walking through the parking lot at Giant Eagle.
Yep.
I do it every day. And then I'm out and about. And I'll see a Jim Shorkey license plate frame. And I'll tap on the window. And they always think I'm going to, think it's a negative thing. They say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I saw my name on the back of your car. And I'm so grateful for your business. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And they're
Yep.
always blown away. And that's just something I do. And I get great joy out of it too, because it's my dad's name. It's
Yeah.
Jim Shorkey. That's my
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
I'm Jim Shorkey Jr. My son's Jim Shorkey III. So my dad really was Jim Shorkey. A lot of people don't realize that. He is Jim Shorkey. If I wanted to name it after myself, it would be Jim Shorkey Jr. Family Honor Group. It's
Right.
Jim Shorkey Family Honor Group. And I'm honoring my dad every day with that. I am. So, but I do. That's a little thing that I do. And do you think that might make a difference long term if I do that often enough?
It's just like the phone calls you talked about in a few episodes ago. I'm calling the customer, seeing how it went. How was your experience with Derek? Oh, it wasn't great. What can we do to make
What
it
can I
right?
do to make it right?
Right.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll tell you what. Did I have customers that I called up and they weren't happy?
100%.
Yes. And what I did was I asked them that question, what can I do to make it right? And then I would go to work on it, get my best guy, my best girl. We get on it. Let's go. Let's call this lady. Let's get her down here. Let's get her right. Let's get her happy. And I was very successful at that. And I made great friends that way. And I'll tell you another little thing I did. It's very little, but sometimes people would call up and they're very upset. And when they start dropping F-bombs on me, and F-bombs and all kinds of foul language and yelling at me, and I'd listen to it for a little bit because they deserved a vent.
Yeah.
And I would say, okay, sir, ma'am, I need you to stop talking like this. I'm not going to listen to this anymore. And they would keep going. I said, if you keep talking like this, I'm going to hang up on you. And they kept doing it. Boom, down goes the phone. I'm telling you, 90+% of the time, within 5 minutes, I get a phone call back. And they would say, Mr. Shorkey, this is Derek calling. You're right. I'm wrong. I apologize to you. I am so sorry for the way I spoke to you. That was wrong. And I would say, let's forget about it. Now, what can I do to make you happy? What can I do to get this fixed?
Yeah.
I'm here to fix it. I made so many friends from those belligerent conversations, and they'll still bring it up to me today.
Yeah.
So focused on love the customer, love the team, keep it very humble. So focused on that. And I just kept at it. And guess what? We hit it out of the park. No, I have no interest whatsoever. I'm not getting the book. I don't want the book. I'm not going to treat my clients that way. These are my clients.
No.
I love them.
Yeah. And intimidation can make somebody do something that
It's going to push them away.
Yeah.
And will you get some that way? Of course you will. You will. You really will. And that doesn't make it right or wrong or whatever. It's just that I'm not comfortable with that. I don't want to treat people like that. I don't want to intimidate my wife tonight
Yeah.
into doing ABC. I don't want to do that. I want to love my wife into doing ABC. And there is a huge difference. I want to love my kids. I want to love my friends. I want to love my clients out there right now and watching this. I love you guys. I do. And all I want to do is help.
Yeah.
That's it. How am I going to do that? My genuine mission is I was helped immensely. And I know that. And now I want to help in the best way that I can. And how am I going to do that? By intimidating you. I can't. I can only do it by loving you and by being a leader and showing you what I did and showing you what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And if you want to follow me, then you will. If you don't, that's what makes America.
Yeah.
We get the right to choose and we get the right to free speech. And it's really cool. I have a feeling that the CEO of Mercedes-Benz probably hasn't done his due diligence like I have.
Yeah. Thank you for answering and talking about how you just stayed focused. You didn't have a shiny object syndrome where it's like, oh, we can do this super cool thing. You stayed focused and you knew your why and you knew your, I think those philosophies are important because it kept you grounded, what we're doing.
The early morning question you need to ask yourself when you're standing in a mirror, brushing your teeth, whatever you're doing in the morning is, and also at night, am I going to love my customers today? Am I going to love my team today? Am I going to keep it very humble today? And then when you close out the day and you're in front of that mirror and you ask yourself the following questions, did I love every single customer today? You know what? No, I didn't. I messed up with these two here. But you know what? I'm going to try harder tomorrow. Next question, did I love my team today? I think I did pretty good, but I messed up with Frank. Not good. I feel bad about that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to show up at the dealership early tomorrow. I'm going to take Frank off by himself. I'm going to say, Frank, you know what? I messed up. And if it's early enough, I might even call him tonight. It's that important.
Yeah.
And say, you know what? I'm sorry. I was wrong. I messed up. You can't imagine how much respect you will get and how much love you will get by making that move to the first most important thing when you want to get into client recovery, look, glassy eyes. I messed up, man. Nobody should be talked to the way I talked to you, Frank. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. And you know what? I might even do it in front of the whole team. I might get in front of the team and say, you know what? This has been really bugging me. I didn't sleep real well last night, and I'm going to tell you a story. And I had a conversation with Frank yesterday, and I was a jerk. And I want to apologize to the whole team because that was wrong. And I, Jim Shorkey, am wrong. And I apologize to you guys. And if you could do me a favor, if I ever talk to you like I talked to Frank yesterday, please let me know. Because sometimes I can be an idiot and I don't know I just get off track. Love the customer, love the team, keep it very humble. Think about that one.
Yep.
Am I doing that?
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. So I just feel it in me, right? It's so deep. It's so
deep. It's very deep.
Genuine, right? There's no tainting of.
It can't be anything but genuine. If it's not genuine, then it's a strategy. Mm-hmm. And I never wanted it to be a strategy. I don't want it to be a strategy. I want it to be a way of life.
Yeah, because strategies change, right?
There's a difference. I want it to be a way of life. And it's been in play. Oh, geez. President Obama was president when I brought this aboard. So it was 2008.
Yeah, 16 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, guys. And again, as Jim said in the last episode, subscribe. These interactions on YouTube, on Facebook really help the algorithm, the mathematics know, wow, people love that video. Let's recommend it to more people. So please, that really helps us. We want to get this out to more people to help more people rethink sales and live out their mission. Because we know if you can rethink sales, if you can change the way you think about sales, you're going to get the results that you want.
And at the end of the day, we don't charge anything for this. This is all free. It's just about giving back. It's about, I was really treated well, and I want to now treat you well. So like Derek said, please like, share, comment, all these things. It really makes a difference to us. We like your comments. And also to the cause, which is the algorithms. So please, if you could do that for me, I would be very happy and grateful. Thank you.